It's rare that you can label a game pioneering, but Devil May Cry would fit that bill in 2001. Out of the ashes of a failed attempt to create Resident Evil 4, Hideki Kamiya would be given the freedom to explore his action-focused ambitions under a new IP, after Capcom deemed it too radically different. The first of what would become a storied arc centered around white-haired demon slayer Dante, its impact would have lasting consequences for the rest of its generation, with several games spawned as a direct influence of this title. While we've seen many hack and slashes in the 2 decades since, Devil May Cry's brand of challenging, fast-paced combat remains excellent. It's not every day that a blonde-haired motorcyclist crashes into your store, but that's exactly the fate Dante experiences on a dark night. Trish, who attacks the hero as some sort of test, is impressed when he brushes off impalement with ease. This leads to her propositioning Dante to take down Mundus, a returning demon emperor who also happens to be responsible for the death of the protagonist's family. This takes the pair to a castle on Malay Island, where much demon slaying occurs, and maybe crying too. The story is not the most serious, with Dante prone to shooting quips faster than his dual-wield pistols, and some goofy voice reads that gain a chuckle, but it's serviceable enough.
A sword. Time to go to work, guys.
Devil May Cry would pioneer a new genre, known as Extreme Combat, the core of gameplay. Dante comes equipped with a basic sword, but eventually acquires more powerful weaponry. Players can input a standard free-hit combo, but aspects such as delaying inputs and directions of strikes alter the combos, including juggles and rolls. You also come loaded with guns, starting with dual-wielded pistols but gaining more through progression. While not helpful for keeping combos, they do help suppress the myriad of enemies which often surround Dante. There's a focus on style, with lengthy strings of attacks uninterrupted by damage rewarding more red orbs, which can then be used to buy upgrades and items. In 2001, the speed and challenge of Devil May Cry was unrivaled, with smooth animations, steady performance, and hordes of creatures making Capcom's effort distinctive and, while very tough, adrenaline pumping. The short missions keep the game from becoming frustrating, and the satisfaction gained from overcoming them is immense and fruitful. Spread across 23 missions, rather than the continuous gameplay of its survival horror roots, each rewards you with a grade dependent on damage taken, time spent, and orbs collected. This also gives the game an arcade feel, with replays incentivized by the urge to attain better grades. Outside of combat, light puzzles also rear their heads, proving far less elaborate than Resident Evil, but breaking up the action nicely. Bosses are suitably dramatic, often dwarfing Dante in size and power. But to even the odds, you also come equipped with Devil Trigger, a buff that gives improved damage, access to more moves, and in some instances, regenerating health. The last component is secret missions, tucked into certain areas and requiring skill beyond the main game in some cases, but bore fruitful rewards such as permanent upgrades. When you also factor in unlockable difficulties, modes, and other extras, the initial 8-hour run is far from all.
Another small one. I said something a little bigger. What a disappointing catch.
Devil May Cry suffers only from a handful of minor but noticeable flaws. A holdover from the RE4 build, the static camera proves excellent at showcasing the scenic views and gorgeous environments, but a pain during combat, as enemies can be moved off screen by camera switches. Repetition can also be a tad tiresome, especially with a handful of bosses reappearing multiple times. While it's not enough to ruin the game, you can't help but feel some extra bosses could have spiced the action up. Lastly, the difficulty is notable, but not quite balanced on the lower difficulties. Easy automatic feels almost too straightforward, with auto combos and little damage making it very easy. The normal mode, on the other hand, can be teeth-grindingly hard at points, with much more damage taken and challenging bosses with multiple phases. But these flaws do not spoil the game, and Devil May Cry's white knuckle action is still a must-play. Capcom also blended technical achievements with a great sense of style. The engine capably maintains 60 frames per second, while fluid action and myriads of enemies are on screen. The environments look great and benefit from a gothic style that's equal parts beautiful and unnerving. Monster designs, including mannequins and shadow-formed creatures, only enhance this. The sound follows suit, with a mix of heavy metal thrashing accompanied by ambient and understated music. The voice work is spotty, but never as terrible as some localizations, and the effects are great too, with sharp swordplay and hard-hitting attacks. Though the cheesy gothic story may turn off some, you can't deny that Devil May Cry boasts a unique style. Devil May Cry is a top-notch game, which not only pioneered a new kind of action game, but also proves to be a blood-pumping challenge very reminiscent of 2D classics. While some of the survival horror roots of the development linger, and perhaps come to the detriment of the game, the sense of accomplishment once you conquer a tough, yet fair challenge has rarely been replicated since. Top it off with an excellent presentation, an absorbing gothic style, and replay value in spades, and it makes Dante's first outing a must-play for PS2 connoisseurs, so long as you're ready to step up for a tough challenge.
Let's rock, baby.